lovely to have our two amazing guests here with us for the Rebel Book Club this month. For those of you who don't know, my name is David McQueen. I am a big fan and supporter of the Rebel Book Club. And every now and then they pull me out of retirement to come and do some facilitation. And today I have a lovely couple who are going to be with us, and they're going to be sharing some stuff with us. They're going to come and they're going to do a little bit of an intro of themselves. But let me introduce you to both Anca and Lucca. And they are going to be they're going to be doing some fascinating stuff. And I'm just going to kind of like gently introduce them. And I'm not going to give them too much of a bio. I do know that Anca is Romanian and Lucca is Austrian. So we have a lovely, lovely European flavor here today. We love that. It's amazing. And what we will do is throughout this show, we're going to have some real good questions about where they've come from, what they do, and we're going to get them to do some stuff with you as an audience as well. So really, really excited about being able to do that. So let me start off by I'm going to get you, Anca and Lucca, just to give us a real little flavor about you. Let me start with ladies first. I'm going to go with you, Anca, first. Just give us a little intro about who you are and what you're about.
Well, I'm coming from Transylvania, and that I find quite relevant because of my current life. I started off in a business, and once I met Lucca, I discovered the magical universe of mental magic. And over the last 10 years, I've been performing together with Lucca mental magic. Okay,
fantastic. And for you, Lucca?
Well, I started doing magic in the year, I think it was 1521.
Okay.
And,
okay.
No, seriously, it was at the age of 20, so about 5-6 years ago. No, I've been doing this now for almost 25 years. But 10 years ago, when I met Anca, I never thought we would ever be partners on stage as well. Until one particular day when she saw something on TV and she told me, I want to do that. Okay. She saw another mind-reading couple, and I told her, this is really one of the hardest things to do in mental magic, and it requires a lot of rehearsal. And I never believed that she would be willing to put this up, but she did. And a few years later, we suddenly became vice world champions of mental magic together for the first time.
Okay.
And since then we are performing magic and raising our two kids, 4 and 7 years old.
That's the real magic.
Yeah.
That's the real magic. Yeah. I was going to say.
I cannot guarantee they will not crash this interview. Could happen anytime.
Absolutely fine. If they do it, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. That's fine. The show will continue to go on. So the most obvious question I'm going to ask you to kick off this session, and I'm sure you've heard this a million times, is what's on my mind?
On your mind is the question, can they read my mind?
I love that. 100%. 100%, definitely. Okay, so give me a sense of I know you were telling me about you were watching the television and you saw something together, but and obviously again as a couple, how did that journey? How did you actually sit down together and go, right, do you know what? This is really the journey that we want to go on, and this is what we want to experience as a couple and performing artists.
I personally was inspired by Lucca's life. As I said, when I met him, I was working in the corporate sector, and compared to magic, that was quite a boring choice from my side. But I must say, I've always been an artist at heart. I started at the age of 4 with ballet and later with dancing. So I did have quite an extensive stage experience by the time I met him. It's just that I thought it would stay as a hobby or pastime leisure. I would have never expected that one day I would join him as an artist on stage.
Okay. And Lucca, how did that evolve? Obviously, once you got a sense that she was going to join you and the two of you were going to work together, what was that sense of, oh my God, this is not just going to be me one, but it's going to be the two of us together? How was that?
It was a very big surprise to me. First, that she was really interested in learning this particular kind of magic. And then I have to admit, I always underestimated her during the first weeks of rehearsal. I was very afraid that she wouldn't have the stage presence that you need to perform as a mental magician or as a magician in general. But when she performed, she blew me and also our acting coach away, because she transforms from the humble, maybe a bit shy person that she's in real life, to a real queen on stage, and she really owns the stage, and that was very surprising for me to see. And very quickly I realized that I'm the one who has to be trying to catch up with her, not the other way around.
Oh, thank you.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely love it. So you mentioned earlier that you became, you did the mental magic, what was it?
Or mentalism. You can also call it mentalism.
Okay, I'm going to call it mentalism. All right. I got it. It just sounds so much like the TV show. I want to give you a bit more pizzazz than that. Okay. So in terms of mentalism, you were saying that you won a tournament or a competition. Can you tell us a bit more about what that was about?
Yes, actually several. And the turning point in my life and my career was the World Championship of Magic in 2015. It took place in Italy in front of 3,000 magicians from all over the world.
Yes.
And we went there to compete knowing that we are good. Luca had even higher hopes than I had, but I just didn't know how good we are.
Yes.
And it was the ultimate test for us. And winning the second place, so becoming vice world champions in mental magic, changed my life forever, because that was the moment I decided to become a professional mentalist.
And by the way, we repeated this in 2018. We became vice world champions again. Yes. So this means that in 3 years, the jury didn't learn anything. So
I love that. But you both said you went there and you weren't expecting to win, but you did, and you did twice. So I'm really curious about, what was that warm up like, going in and knowing that there were all these magicians and obviously you were competing? You went there, as you said, you didn't go to win, but what was the warm up like? And then what was it like to actually win the tournament twice?
Yeah. Oh, no. We were a runner up. So we got second place in the World Championships.
Vice world.
The best experience so far we had in England. In 2017 in Blackpool, we became the European champions. So we made the first prize there. Yeah.
And basically we were the first ever European champions in mental magic, because up to the moment the European Championship took place in Blackpool in 2017. Nobody had won up to that moment the first prize in mentalism, because magic competitions are special. You're not automatically the winner if you have the highest number of points.
You need at least 80%
of the jury's points to win.
To make a first prize. Otherwise, there is no first prize selected.
Exactly. And it was very humbling and amazing for us to be the very first European champions ever, and it took place in the United Kingdom. So an amazing experience.
That was good. We were glad to have you. Good. Unless you did it on our shores. I'm glad. Absolutely glad. So I've got, as I said, I've got a number of questions that I definitely want to be able to throw at you. And then I know that there's going to be an opportunity for you to be able to get some questions and do some mind reading from some of the audience here as well. So one of the big ones for me is, what does mind reading reveal to us as humans? How does it reveal us as humans? Or how, from when you're doing it, what do you understand in terms of human behavior? What do you get that from mentalism?
You want to answer, should I?
I'll give a short answer.
Okay.
To me, it reveals the most beautiful feelings spectators experience when they believe in magic and they let magic appear before their eyes and in their minds. It's a childish-like experience that we are all seeking and very rarely achieve in real life, and magic gives that to us.
Yes.
I'm going to give the long answer.
Okay.
So before we talk about mental magic, we need to understand what mental magic really is, because there are so many misunderstandings about what mentalism or mental magic is. So mental magic is a branch of magic. It's a form of entertainment, and it has nothing to do with supernatural so everything we're doing is explicable and has nothing to do with supernatural powers on the one hand. On the other hand, this feeling of magic happening on stage. So when as a spectator, when a spectator comes on stage and I read his mind, I'm using tricks to read his mind,
Yes.
of course. But this feeling that the spectator has in this moment, this feeling is real, because what's happening on stage is the willing suspension of disbelief. And if we can create this, if we can make people want to believe in that moment that what they're seeing, what they're witnessing is real, and it feels like this is real mind reading, then we've done our job. It's something else after the show, of course. Yeah. Then after the show, we are real people again. We're not actors anymore, because magicians are actors playing the role of a magician.
Yes.
And then, of course, we admit that we cannot read anybody's mind, really. I mean, I'm still struggling with my own life after more than 10 years.
You and me both. Okay. Not your wife, my wife. But yeah. I'm really curious as well. I'm really curious as well that how it has impacted your life, because there's again, as you said, you're those performers and you're on stage and you've been able to create these incredible personas and use that magic. How has it affected your life beyond the actual job, beyond the stage?
Some spectators, some guests do come to us after our performances, and they want to take it a step further. And we always keep this disclaimer in mind: we are actors playing the role of a magician on stage. Otherwise, we are absolutely normal people. The way it has impacted our lives is by bringing happiness to us and to our beloved, because we are just happier to be able to perform this. I've definitely sensed a change, a big change in my own perception of the world ever since I have the capacity through mental magic to bring light into the people's eyes, which my previous job, if I may say, did not provide me with. So that possibility is brought, I guess, by any passion, any career, any job one pursues out of love and out of interest. So this is the general answer, and a particular answer that has to do with mental magic. It has made me, and I guess Luca can say the same, more aware.
Okay.
And especially more aware of the real magic in life. Because when I started as a magician, I didn't do mental magic all the time and exclusively. I only specialized in mental magic around 15 years ago. But in the beginning, and I still do classical magic tricks like a rising card or making objects disappear and change the colors, whatever. In my Power Magic show of 80 minutes, maybe 20, 25 minutes are classical magic. My experience with magic was, I was occupied from the beginning with the questions: what is amazement? Why are we amazed? Why does it feel so good? Why are we professional be wondrous as a child, but then we lose this sense for amazement when we grow? Why is that? And how can we get this feeling back for us in everyday's life? How can we rediscover amazement? And this leads us to this book.
Plug the book. Plug it. Plug away. Plug away.
This is exactly what I've described in my book. Everything that I found magical.
Yes.
From paradox to the universe, from mathematics to magic tricks, and last but not least, love. And that's the second main story of the book: how we found each other, how we got together.
Love
it's
that.
Both the story of this book and also the story of our theater show.
Okay. And no, lovely.
In that sense, magic has changed my life also as a private person.
Yes.
Because up till today, I've learned to see these little miracles all around us every day.
No, I love that. Is it available in English yet?
Not yet. We're in the process of translating it to English. So Luca wrote it in German, And also the story of the book is magical itself, because as a magician, he was approached in the past to deliver motivational speeches. And one German publisher saw his motivational speech, which was about magic and how the rediscovery of amazement in everyday life gives one more energy and more passion for life. And then that publisher approached him, but don't you want to write a book, which was on the back of his mind. And that's how they developed the strategy to write initially a self-help book, but basically it's a romantic story. It's non-fiction, but still it's about the romantic story about how Anca and Lucca meet and change each other's lives.
Yeah.
But as an example for how by rediscovering magic in real life, you reinvent your own life.
But you can even learn a magic trick with this book. So it's you can't really categorize it. It's a little bit of many things.
It's not a magic book. It's not a self-help book. It's not
only love story.
It's not necessarily literature. It's a mixture.
But the book wrote itself, by the way. So when you start reading, the book will address you and it will explain to you why and how it wrote itself.
Okay. I love that. I love that challenge. We can't wait for. So in our network, are you looking for? I'm plugging you here. But in our network, are you looking for translators to help it to go into English, or do you already have somebody addressed?
Yes. We've just been approached by a producer to go on a tour next year in America, and now we're really in a hurry to translate the book into English and to publish it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we will definitely make sure within the book club that we can share that and find that space for you. We're going to go just slightly left on this. So one of the things I do is I do a lot of executive coaching with a lot of senior leaders. And one of the things I find by just asking better questions, they always say to me, can you get out of my head, please? Right? I don't want you in my head, because you're obviously observing what they're doing. And they say, can you get out of my head? Why do you know exactly what it is that I'm doing? And so I'm quite curious. I know you said that you're performers on the stage and you know that you're acting the role as a mind reader. But I wonder how the tools that you have as mind readers, and these are performers, I'm wondering how they can play a role in just helping people to see themselves better and see the magic in life, if that makes sense. Not just solving problems, but allowing them to see themselves. Because you get an insight. Again, as you said, you talk about being in that space and creating that magic. I'm wondering how the tools you use, without giving away your act, can be used to help other people to solve problems.
Mm-hmm. I think the first key is to make people rediscover the sense of amazement.
Yes.
To remind them, to let them relive this feeling, and
that's fine.
Once they've experienced it, and for some people it may be the first time in years that they're really amazed about something. That may let them think, okay, why is this missing in my life? And then we can also give them some tools, and one tool is awareness. That's the most important one. Because we have miracles all around us, all the time, everywhere. I mean, our mere existence is a miracle. The fact that some billion of atoms are talking to a group of atoms now over a screen far away. The fact that we're able to develop something like consciousness, that's pure magic, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed. If you have to attend to the children, that's fine. Okay, not both of you. One of you have to stay. All right.
The better half with you. I'm gonna be back in a minute.
Right, that's fine. One has to stay.
I hear a big slap, and I'm only 1 minute away from you.
Thank you.
I hope you identified it already. No. And a more particular answer to your question would be that the tools that we are using in mental magic, both in terms of performing the magic and bringing artistry to the act, have helped us, have helped me, but would also help a mere spectator once they learn them, to focus better. Yes. And this I'm basically talking about mental capacity. And I realized that the more we do that, the more we train our brain, the better it is for us as human beings. think beyond mentalism and magic and performance on stage. It helps you stay more aware and more on top of your game. And especially in situations when you're very tired or very stressed, having these exercises and having your brain trained comes really in hand. And had I had these experiences before, I could have used them back in my corporate career. I'm talking about strategy meetings and negotiations. But of course, the majority of people don't have the access to the tools magicians use, but still keeping in mind this idea that you can train your brain as a muscle is helpful for you in your cognitive experiences. It is a good thought to carry.
Yeah. I love that. And the reason why I asked is because obviously the last 2 years since we've had the pandemic, a lot of people have gone through like stress and how do I manage and how do I cope? And I guess the reason why I was asking is, what are those simple tools? But again, it can be something very simple, but what are those simple tools that people can use that you use quite well in your performance, but people can use to train their brain? Is there one simple thing you can give away without spoiling your act?
Yes, memory exercises. So it's not it's not the complete. It's far from the complete explanation. But many mentalists, many mental magicians use memory exercises for whatever purposes they want to achieve through their magic, and normal persons could do the same, even if they are not magicians. It's really a tremendous help once you learn to use them, to apply them in your daily life. And of course, nowadays we think, oh, you just need to Google something, or you can use a calculator to give you the answer to anything you need. But the truth is, in many difficult situations, having your brain trained and being on top of your game and staying focused, which I see as is a problem nowadays, comes very much at hand if you have that capacity, if you keep that goal, if you keep that capacity developing.
For it would be awareness.
Okay.
I mentioned it before because one thing that's very particular about mental magic compared to other branches of magic is that so many more things can go wrong because you have participants involved.
Yes.
Yeah. So because we always need a participant on stage whose mind we can read.
Yeah.
And that also means, by the way, that we can't rehearse alone. We always need somebody to rehearse with.
Yes.
And you cannot imagine what can go wrong.
Everything.
It's incredible. So things can go wrong. You would have never even in your worst nightmares, you would have not dreamt that these things can possibly go wrong.
And they happened at the best times, like when you're on stage at the World Championship. This never happened to you before. It happens right there in front of everyone.
So we once had a French TV show, and we threw our plush heart into the audience.
Yes.
And the first illusion was, the first trick was that Anca would tell how the spectator would look like.
Because I was blindfolded.
Yeah, so she would reveal first their gender, then their color of hair and whatever, you know. And this later discovered it was a lady, but she stood up, and the first thing she did was this. So in the middle of the audience, she stands up and does this. You would never expect anybody to do that, right?
Yeah, she didn't want to and she didn't want to come on stage. And usually we have our methods to convince the audience that it's going to be a wonderful experience. There is nothing that they should be afraid of. There's nothing they can do wrong. But that was her reaction. It was live.
So you have to manage so many things that are going on stage, and there are so many things you have to consider, so many things that can go wrong. You really have to be very aware of everything, and you have to be especially aware of the spectator. I know that some mentalists, they sell their performances as genuine body reading or cold reading, and more often than not, this is not the case. It's just it's a presentational style, but it does not mean that we're not using these techniques, just in a different way. So, for example, when you come on stage, no, it already starts when I pick a participant. I have to get a sense for the person. Will she be compliant, or he? Or will he maybe try to run his own show and ruin the pace of my performance? So I need to get a feeling for that person. It's a little bit like flirting as well.
Yeah.
And you have to understand, okay, who has good intentions, who is self-conscious, who is balanced, who would freak out on stage. So you can learn also to better not judge people, but to get a better sense for people, just by looking at them, how they behave, how they talk, how they speak. And then when they're on stage, you also need to read their body language in order to anticipate how they would react. And it's such simple things like telling people to cut a deck of cards, because you would not believe what possible things people do when you tell them to cut a deck of cards.
Tell us.
Well, we haven't had somebody who took out a pair of scissors and would cut them like this, but apart from that, we had everything else.
Yeah.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yes.
Most of the times, the guests on stage want to help us, or at least they are on our side, but they are not aware that they may be doing something against the magic. And then it's our role.
Can I tell about Romeo's Got Talent?
Yes. Just in a second. And then, of course, it's our role as artists to manage the situation and to make the best out of it. And this comes with experience. You can't rehearse live shows enough. And I'm saying this especially because now we are in the era of Zoom and teleconferencing. While all of us have tried to adapt to it, we still miss the live shows the most, and that's what we welcome the most, because even if they are tougher in some ways, they are more beautiful and more genuine.
Yeah. Would you like to hear an anecdote?
Go ahead.
By the way, this was one of our mean, subtle techniques that we're using, because how could you ever say no to that question, right?
Right.
So we were on Romanian TV and live, and we told the producers that we're going to read one of the judges' minds. The judge will have to think of a person, and Anca will know it. And we told the producers in writing and 5 times before verbally,
10 times.
Don't tell her what's going to happen, because it's very important that her reaction is genuine and that she's really surprised.
Yes.
So we do the show, and Anca reveals the name of the person that this judge is thinking of. It was Florin.
Yeah.
And then this judge says, "Yes, this is unbelievable. I was thinking of my brother Florin. Please." She was on stage with us. She had left her judge's desk. And she said, "Please look at a little paper slip on my table, on the desk." And one of the other judges opened it, and it said Florin.
And showed it to the camera.
So then, to millions of viewers, this was Romania's Got Talent, the semi-final, it was apparent that she was briefed, or that she was in it, because how could she have known she would have to write down a name when we only asked her on stage to come up with somebody?
Yes, yeah.
And then,
to us, in that moment, it was a moment of shock. We were like, how did she know to write this? Is she the world's best mentalist?
Exactly. Yeah.
we didn't know how to react, and it was live on TV. So
I was just smiling stupidly, because I don't understand what so I didn't know what's going on. I was just happy that the illusion worked perfectly, and I didn't understand what's going on. But when we went off the stage, we got all these text messages on Facebook and so on. "Oh, we're so sorry, guys." And then what happened? We read all these comments online, and how can you think we're so stupid that we don't get she was in it? So what happened? The producer knew that this judge had
a big mouth,
and she would always go astray in her own show. So he wanted her to be prepared, and he told her over the in-ear what she will have to do. So she knew that she will have to think of a person and select a name. She knew it already before we called her on stage.
And then,
that's why she wrote it down.
And then, because she liked us, she wanted to show an extra effect on her own. This nobody told her. So she thought, okay, but I'm going to write this and hide it secretly on the judge's table and later reveal it. This was her own idea.
And she thought she would support us by proving that she was really thinking of that person and not just pretending. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
You're right.
Yes. But then I think I can imagine But one of the things that I get from that, and I think it's very evident of people who perform or speak or what have you, is how you were able to adapt in the moment. And so does this also play a part in your confidence? Has it added to your confidence, or were you confident before as part of your actual act?
It added to the confidence.
It added. And at the end of the day, we are performers. It's entertainment. It's just for fun, especially in times like these when so much serious things are going on. You should never take yourself too seriously on stage. And my big idol in that sense is Paul Daniels. I think he's very well known in the UK, right?
Yeah.
When he messed up a trick, he looked at it and said, "So what?" and went on to the next one.
Yes. No, I love that.
Yeah. But I must say, to help create the illusion of mind reading, we do have a disclaimer when we come on stage, and even on that TV show that was broadcasted live, we kept making reference to that we use no stooges, no prearrangements, and no hidden electronic devices.
Mm-hmm.
And this has brought us a certain reputation among the magical community, so to say, because of course you could use those, but we went a step ahead, and we promised our spectators we don't do that, and it's legally certified. We went to a notary, and this promise legally certified, and we would legally owe $1 million, because it sounds better instead of euros or pounds. $1 million if we would break this promise. So we start every show by saying no prearrangements, no secret assistants, and no electronic devices. Otherwise, we would owe you $1 million. So this brings attention to the room. And we said this on Romain TV, and still they thought we prearranged it with that touch.
I mean, I have to admit, we don't have that much money, but it would mean that we would have to work for you like 3.5 weeks. Yeah, so, yeah.
I like that. For everybody who's watching as well, please go to mindreading.show. So mindreading.show is the web address, and on there, for all of you who are watching, there is the $1 million challenge on there as well. So they definitely are speaking the truth. Not that we would doubt you. And I love the fact that
our theater show. So our whole theater show, it's only the two of us.
Yes.
We don't even have a helper backstage.
There's the theater sound check guy and the theater light guy.
The stage crew, they do the curtains. That's it.
It's just
nobody else. Yeah.
No, love that. But it also helps that you have chemistry. Okay, so you are a married couple, and it's so obvious that you've got this real energy. Like, even if it went wrong, you'd be like, "What the hell? We're together. We'll go with the kids anyway." How much does
compliment after 10 years being together, right? That's the real magic.
You want to hear the truth? Sometimes other mentalists, they ask us, "What is your advice if you want to learn this kind of telepathy or mind reading? Yeah, with whom should you do it?" And we say there are two pieces of advice we want to give you.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is you have to do it with your partner, girlfriend, wife, partner. And the second piece of advice...
No, because you have to explain why.
Because you need to spend so much time rehearsing it, and it takes way more effort than any other illusion in mentalism.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you should only do this with your spouse or
partner.
Yeah. And the second piece of advice is never do it with your spouse or partner.
I knew that was coming. I felt like it was coming. I love that. So I'd love to. This has been fabulous. I'm learning lots and lots from both of you, and I'm sure our audience are as well. But I'd love to give the opportunity for some of this mind reading to be demonstrated here. Are you up for that? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the game stands true. Yes. So no prearrangements, no secret assistants. Our kids are helping.
Yes. No. Fabulous.
Electronic devices. There's the computer that transmits our show to you, our communication to you. Otherwise, we are old-fashioned, so to say. We could have performed exactly the same magic 1,000 years ago. Fabulous,
absolutely fabulous. Well, I have the fabulous M in the background, who's gonna. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in some members. I see you've got your blindfold ready. I think should we go for a maximum of 5? You give me the number? Tell me how much you want to have in that room, and we can work.
Let's start with a little warm up first, without
Okay.
any spectators, and then we bring the five in. Okay?
And please introduce your black and goggles.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are black and swimming goggles, very inexpensive plastic goggles, painted with black auto paint.
Yes.
And why?
And very cheap rubber band. So why is that so cheap? Because we always give it away at the end of the show.
We have 300 pairs at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
And why goggles? Because we started first when we started to perform by using a normal blindfold, and then spectators would still come despite our $1 million claim, saying that, but for sure there's light coming through and there's some things you can see. And I said, okay, swimming goggles are famous for not letting water in, and if you blacken them the way we did, then there's no light coming in, so there's no way I can see.
Yeah, you can still use them for swimming. They're very good, especially at night. Yeah.
Night swimming. So while you're getting prepared here as well, I want to say to members of RBC who are of the Rebel Book Club who are listening on, we're going to have a small demo here, but I'm going to really try and encourage some volunteers on there. We've got to make sure that this is interactive, make sure that Anca and Lucca get a real sense that we are contributing to this as well. So I'm going to pass over to you, Anca and Lucca, to be able to do this first demo and really set the scene. And then what I'll do is I'll gently start to bring some people in and we can try it that way. Is that okay?
Okay.
Over to you.
Good. The nature of such a Zoom performance is that we have to be both in the picture, we have to be close to each other, but I'm not touching her anyhow. That would be a different kind of magic. But we have a deck of cards here.
Okay.
And as I riffle down these cards, please say stop whenever you want.
Stop.
Here?
Yes, there.
Or a bit less?
Let's stay there.
Thanks.
That's okay. I got them.
So you're thinking of a playing card. Now I need you to concentrate on this playing card. And think of its color, whether it's red or black. I think it's a black color. Of course, we have spades. Now, please concentrate on the value of this card. This time with David, it's not so easy to read his mind, I must say. Darling, please help me get David concentrate. It's a number. I'm getting it's a 3, and the color.
Didn't you say spades already?
Of spades, yes.
Yeah, 3 of spades, yes. How many cards do I have in my hand?
There are 20, 21, 22 cards.
Okay, well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
What? Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yes. So, all right. Okay. Good. I'm convinced. I'm in the convinced club. Well done. 3 of spades. Fabulous. And okay. Right. I've got 2 people. I have Lisa and Adam. And I'm gonna hey Lisa, how you doing?
Good,
hey Adam, are you well?
Good, thank you.
Good. Now I'm still baffled. All right, I got no idea. So I'm gonna leave it over to Anca and Lucca. You're gonna do your good stuff again. And over to you. Totally over to you.
Okay. I just realized I need to plug my computer. In the meantime, can the 2 of you please take any object that you can find around you and hold it into the camera? Any object.
And please don't say anything. Just look at the objects you're holding in your hands and imagine using them. Imagine the purpose. Think of the purpose of these particular objects. and just concentrate your attention on what you're holding, on nothing else.
Yes, good, thank you.
Let's start with the first object.
Yes, thank you, Adam.
Just focus your attention on this object and think of nothing else. I'm getting the thoughts related to measuring something, as if somebody's measuring, I don't know if it's centimeters or inches, as if there's mathematics or geometry ruler.
Yes, okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
that would be correct. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Now the next object, please.
Lisa? Yes, good, thank you.
Focus your attention only on this object, and the thoughts brings you. Your thoughts take me out of the room in nature, as if I'm looking at trees or plants.
Good color.
Green comes to my mind.
Okay, and the pot?
Actually, the pot
Okay.
is I see the colors of the rainbow coming together into white.
Take another object. Adam. Something else.
I have one more person I'm going to introduce into the room as well. So I'll get Adam to do his one, but I'm going to introduce, let's see if I can get them. Are they? We have Nimshi. Nimshi's in the room. Hey, Nimshi.
Hello, Nimshi.
Hi. Sorry, I was muted.
Nimshi, can you please prepare an object while Anca is guessing Adam's object? Please prepare one for yourself.
Okay, I've got it.
Right?
Now, please focus your attention on this particular object.
Yes, good.
And imagine using it. This is funny because your thoughts make me think of magic. One famous illusion in this magic is the cutting and the restoration of a rope.
Right.
But more particular, I wouldn't say so much a rope as string.
Okay, what color?
I'm not so sure. It's bright. It's somewhere between white and beige, if I'm correct.
Thanks.
Now,
Nimshi.
please focus your attention on your object.
Turn it around maybe a little bit.
This way?
Yes, thank you.
And think of using this particular object. I believe this one has several purposes, but it makes me think of wanting to dry things up or to clean them, as if I'm using a towel.
Now, are you focusing on this? Fine.
Just concentrate your attention only on this particular object.
Thanks.
And imagine using it, or the last time you used it, or the purpose of this particular object.
Fine, yes, thank you. Turn it around. Yeah.
Can it be something rather heavy, like a tile?
Yes.
It's a tile. Yes, okay. And the color?
It's multicolor. I see many colors coming together.
Yes.
Thank you.
How the hell?
It's a coaster, by the way.
22?
Say again.
Yes.
Wait.
How many squares are on this tile?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it. 22
Yeah.
11.
Please show. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13. Okay, quite close. Quite close. Yeah. Good. Last object. Lisa, do you have pen and paper in your hand? Let's do something completely different.
Oh, thank you for putting me to the test.
Yes. Very good.
Yes.
Please draw 2 lines and then write a 6-digit number on the first line, and the second line underneath, write another 6-digit number underneath the first 6 digits. So you have a 12-digit number in 2 rows. Once you have it, please show it to the camera so everybody can see. Everybody, but Anca, of course.
Except me. Just focus your attention on the numbers you are writing.
Ideally, your credit card number, I should have mentioned.
Then I hope you identify Lucas' sense of humor.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect, wonderful. Good. Bring it back.
Back a bit. There you go.
Then the first number.
The first number is roundish. I'd say a 3.
Thank you. Now name the next position.
3 0 3 3 0 5 6 7 0 0 and 1.
Okay.
Not so bad. Yeah. Perfect.
Just on the 5th position.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect.
I wasn't sure.
It was perfect. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wow. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know how that is done. That's fantastic. Thank you to Adam, Nimshi, and Lisa as well for being able volunteers and being able to do that. That's just...
meet you virtually.
Say again.
Wonderful to meet you virtually. This is always exciting for me because as I can't see anything, I never know who comes on stage, or in this case, who participated.
Yes.
And it's wonderful then to see the guests I've been interacting with.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you.
Nice to meet you both.
Thank you very much.
There's one more. Adam, take the ruler in your hands, please.
There we go.
I don't need the goggles for them, yeah? I can tell you the number there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Yep, they're all on it. Older. Good work.
All there, clear and present.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Thank you. And thank you.
I'm doing it, so don't best.
And really appreciate being able to do it in this space as well. I mean, I know you.
It's not easy, and that's why we always bring back our claim, our $1 million claim, that we don't use electronics or arrangements or any secret assistance, so that the magic a little bit transforms into reality over the screen. It's not so easy to believe when compared to when we perform Magic Live.
So let me ask our volunteers a question then. So let me start with Lisa first. Lisa, did you think she was going to get the numbers?
I did, because I believe, but I'm all about the amazement, as they were talking before, so I had no doubt that she was going to get it.
Love the magic. And Nimshi?
I mean, yeah, I think I had like a coaster, which is not like a common object. So I didn't expect you to say it like exactly, but yeah.
Okay,
that was surprising.
Fabulous. And Adam?
Yeah, I hoped it would be right, but it was always exciting to get it there. Just interested to know what trick of the mind was used to play on us after reading that book.
It's the rope to the string bit that got me. I was like, she said rope. I was like, nah. And then she went, no, it's a bit. No, it's not quite a rope. It's a string. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if everyone would be able to see what it was because it's kind of a small object, but it still worked.
But David, it wasn't easy to read your mind with the playing card. You got me thinking.
I was just scared. I was just nervous. No, it's absolutely fabulous. And again, I think, as you said, the beauty of this is not necessarily knowing how it's done, but being able to be taken away in a space where you don't know the answer, where you can feel that it's magical, where you can feel that somebody's fully aware of being present. And for me, that's the beauty. That's the absolute beauty. It's not about, I don't want to go away and read in a book how or how you figured it out. I just want to know that in that so I'm going to be honest with all of you, right? So I'm 52, but I felt like a 12-year-old. I felt like, oh my God, please let me just see exactly what it was. And for me, that's the actual beauty of the magic. So fabulous. Thank you, volunteers. You're gonna get kicked out of the green room in a minute. So it's just gonna be myself, and Anca and Lucca, and we'll take you out of the room. Fabulous. Thank you so much.
And David, if I may say something,
yes.
In our normal shows, in our live shows, theater show, corporate shows, public shows, we bring lots of artistry to mentalism. So what you saw was just pure technique, so to say.
Yes.
But because we have this artistic heart in us, our shows are never about just the illusion. It's about the story around it and how we can bring our spectators into the stories we create on stage. And that's beautiful. And it's very exciting for us to see how the guests, when they come on stage, they become part of the story.
Yeah. But for one illusion in our theater show, we bring 53 spectators on stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which means that at some places we had more spectators on stage than in the audience, but...
Yes, no, I love that. There's a question that was asked, and I'm going to share this with you. It says, does language change how you do the tricks? For example, translating into the volunteers' first language. For example, I've been speaking to you, and I'm very conscious that I naturally speak quite fast. So I've intentionally slowed down how I speak. So I'm quite curious as to what impact language has on the way you do the tricks or the way you do your magic.
You mean, I guess the question was about the different languages, different countries, right?
Yeah.
No, we've performed in Romanian, in French, in English, in Italian.
Well, German is the base for us, as we live in Vienna, Austria, and we've been performing a lot in Austria, Germany, and Switzerland.
Yes.
English comes to us quite easily, and breaking this barrier, of course, is a challenge for any mentalist. And in that sense, mentalism is more challenging than other parts of the other categories of magic, because you do need to talk. Almost no mentalist effect, or very few, are purely just visual and not about talking.
But give us 2 or 3 weeks time, and we can perform in any language, because more or less we're always saying the same things. And the most difficult thing for Anca, of course, is to learn all the possible objects. So we've come across, we're collecting them, and we've come across more than 600 objects already.
Yeah.
So if she would have to learn them all in Norwegian, for example, or Danish, it would take quite some time. Yeah.
Okay. What's the most shocking object you've had as a reveal? What's the most surprising one?
Yeah, the one in Las Vegas, right?
Yes. So we went to what for most magicians is the the Olympics of magic, the Penn and Teller Full-Ass show. It's an honor to be invited to perform there, and it's a dream for many magicians to be there. And again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We invited on stage Teller, who famously doesn't speak. Yes. And he had the right intentions. He actually was very excited for us, and he brought.
No, he didn't bring. He was
writing down
to really think of an object.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I took the challenge further. Don't just take out an object that you carry with you, because that would be a limited choice. Any object, anybody could have thought of in this room.
Yeah.
And he thought of a kumquat. I hope I pronounced it
Yes,
correctly.
a kumquat.
You see? So I was like some sort of a plant, a veggie, a fruit. I'm thinking of a fruit salad, and in the end, I got it. But trust me, it wasn't easy because I wasn't sure what it is.
But I meant something else, because a year later we performed again in Las Vegas for a mentalist convention.
Yes, I forgot
yes,
that. Yeah.
And one person, he had a Wartburg wheel with him.
A doctor's instrument.
If you don't know what it is, I've never seen it before as well.
Yes,
It's called Wartburg wheel. You know it?
No, I don't know.
With tiny little spikes.
Okay.
And only later we realized this is a sadomaso tool. So yeah, we didn't know that, when he presented on stage, and we didn't know what it is. So Anca didn't know what it is. So she started describing it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's a wheel. It's made of metal, and it's gold, and it's that.
Yeah.
And we realized what it is used for, actually.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you both. I have one last question before I do go. So somebody else wants to know, when's your next show in Berlin?
Berlin. We don't know. Right now, we're just coming out of one lockdown here. We're expecting the next one to come in Berlin.
Yes.
Unfortunately, nobody can tell these days.
No one knows. Yeah.
We are ready to go to Germany with our shows.
Yeah, pre-pandemic, we had actually the offer to tour through Germany with our theater show. We had the offer to tour through France. India was on the map for us, and everything is in the air now. So if we use our mental powers, we would say as soon as possible.
Okay. Yes. Fantastic. Well, listen, I'm really conscious. I'm really conscious that I've taken up your time. It's 2 minutes to 8, and I want to make sure that you are off and out by 8 o'clock. So I really want to thank you. Thank your children as well, because they were gracious enough. Do you have, very quickly before we go, so I've told everybody the link to your website is mindreading.show, and we will share that. But how can we also find the book? Because some people might want to read it in German. How can we find the book? And is there a link that
Yes, you find a book on my website, which is Lucca with double C, lucca.world.
Okay.
But you have to go to the German version of it, and then look for the book. Yeah, okay. It's called Das Buch in German. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. One last question. I have to squeeze this one in because somebody ever this is my last one, I promise you, but 10 seconds ago. Have you ever got it really badly wrong, ever?
Oh, yes.
All the time.
Yes. Well, you saw I was struggling already with your playing card, and honestly, also with a plant, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that wasn't planned.
Yes, but it wasn't, because before that I was in the realm of mathematics, and then geometry, and then ruler, and then I was a bit taken away from. Okay, am I completely off the guard? I'm not seeing card.
Yeah, at court, on sea, and on stage, you're in God's hands.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Appreciate you both. Oh my God, that was amazing. I really loved it. We'll check it out. We will share it with the club. We have put it out for English publishers as well. So really appreciate you both. Have a really good evening.